Hey, Margot. What's up, Mayor? Dangerous Freedom here. I got my brother Moose Man with me.
Good
That we
evening, folks.
shoot the breeze, maybe talk some guns, talk some constitutional stuff, that kind of stuff. So, I was watching some news out of Florida. They've given up on the rescue mission. Any survivors from that building that came down? 97 they found.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll find some more remains when they get scooping the rest of it out.
Possibly.
And our prayers go out to all the families and people affected by that. It's a tragedy, and it should have been. It should have never happened.
Yep, it was an avoidable tragedy. Yep.
Yeah,
And the sad part is I've got a friend that lives out there. She knows exactly where that place is, and she's like, those were not cheap condos. You know what I mean? And
no,
the fact that they're making that much money and they can't even afford to do the repairs that are needed, that's negligent. I have a feeling that whoever built that thing or whatever property management was in charge of is probably going to have a pretty hefty lawsuit coming up.
yeah, there are $9 million they were going to put into repairs is now going to be probably in the hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits.
I would guess.
Yeah. Yeah, they're selling the property off to pay the families, is what Red heard.
I don't know if that's going to be enough. Hey, Joe. Virginia, good to see you.
And they
Howdy,
finally
Monday.
and they finally did come out and say it was saltwater intrusion into that concrete and rebar weakening and stuff, and the ground and underneath is what caused it. So I called that all along.
Yeah. Well, you build your house on sand. What do you expect?
Yep.
What's up, Carmen?
Hi, Virginia, Joe, Carmen, Margot, Monty, Mayor, all you guys. Good to see you.
So, how about that chipmunk? I like how a lot of people just nicknamed him the Waco Kid.
Yeah, well, I have other names for him that I can't repeat.
I know. I think we all do. Um, you thought it
Well,
was our
that's the thing. You're supposed to be a federal law enforcement agency, and you're supposed to be held to the highest standards of this country. You do work for the citizens as part because we are the government.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get people like this joker, he shouldn't have been able to pass a psychiatry test to be in law enforcement. I had to, and it's a tough test. You better know, you can't lie about it because on it because there's other questions that kind of tie in and they can catch you at it. So
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's different psychological tests, some people should never be able to pass them to become law enforcement officers. And I met
No,
some
I
good ones. I met some bad ones.
I think we all have. Hey, what's up, backyard?
Well, in
Uh,
Alaska news, did you see where a guy had to fight off a grizzly bear attack for a week? He
no.
was he was dropped off camped out about 40 miles outside of Nome by himself with no communication. I'm thinking he was probably out at a mine site prospecting or something, since it's that Nome gold rich area, but they didn't say. Anyway, he had a gun, but he was attacked by a grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear kept coming back over multiple times over the week, and he couldn't go to sleep, and he was down to two bullets. I guess he was a bad shot, because usually it only takes one shot to kill a grizzly bear if you know where to put it.
Yeah.
But he had an injured leg and he was all tore up. Well, he managed to get SOS and help me on the top of his roof of his tent or whatever somehow. And he was lucky that a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter flew over and saw it and landed. And he crawled out on his hands and knees waving a white flag, thanking him for rescuing him. So,
Jeez.
So it looks like he's going to survive, but he had a very badly injured. And see, that's the thing about a grizzly bear. Normally, what they'll do is they'll attack you. They won't eat you. They'll bury you, and then they'll come back. Well, the grizzly bear didn't kill him, so the grizzly bear kept coming back, and he didn't kill the grizzly bear. So it's black bears, though, are the ones that will kill you and start eating you right away and then bury you. So,
damn. That's why I'm glad we ain't got bears that run around wild down here. I mean, if you go up north, you could find some, but they're far enough up north, they never make their way down here.
Oh, we've got black bears in Oklahoma, and I thought that you guys had them too, and all three of the bears are scattered out. Even down to Florida's got bears.
Yeah, we got them, but like I said, where I'm at and where they're at is like hundreds of miles apart.
They're usually able to go. They're in the mountains.
Yep.
What's up, AV? Good to see you, brother.
Hey, Aaron, how you doing, bud?
Wow, Metal got a couple strikes too. Shit. Yeah, they're striking a whole bunch of channels. I don't even know what for. I should probably get to find out. That way I know what not to do.
It's hard to say anymore. Like I said, on Facebook, banned me, put me in jail for a while because I did the Thomas Jefferson. I did a synopsis of it where I said that people that cheated on elections should be hanged in the public square, and they come back, oh, it violates our policy against what was it, violence, promoting violence.
Wait a second.
And I protested it, and I said that, you know, I didn't direct it against a country or a particular person or anything else. It was a generalized statement that if you cheated elections, you should be hanged in the public square. So basically, Facebook, you're telling me that you support cheating rather than justice. And it was Thomas Jefferson that said evil men should be hung by the gallows. So there you go.
Yeah, tarred and feathered ain't good enough.
You know, I almost wish this big EMP pulse would come and take down the whole computer and internet and everything else system and put all them some bitches out of a job. It ain't gonna hurt me. It ain't gonna hurt you other than not being able to show up and have your audience, and it ain't gonna hurt me because I'm still gonna be alive and I'm gonna still be out here surviving whether I got the internet or the phone or not. But they're not going to know what to do. It's like, my brain's exploding. I can't.
Oh man, a lot of people.
I can't see my phone. My phone don't work. My computer don't work.
My kids are going to be part of that group. Especially
they'll be running around like chickens with their legs cut off.
That's all right. I'll put their asses to work. Don't worry. This will take your mind off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, AV, I agree. They are. They are communists.
Yeah.
That Pondo.
A little independent Manny.
Yeah, 10 million twits will explode with YouTube. With no YouTube. Y'all know how to do it. But how am I going to fix my car?
No, how am I going to get on TikTok?
Huh. No, it's about India. I really, I mean, I'll catch little clips here and there, but like to sit there and watch the full thing, yeah. A lot of times he just says the same thing over and over, just changes his words a little bit.
Yeah.
Still impactful, you know, and he still gets 25, 30,000 people out there. You know, he packs the house, but he's not the most popular president ever elected, ever. Yet, we look at how many votes he got just in this last election, and we can eliminate all the fraudulent votes. I would say that, yeah, to date, he's probably the most popular elected official ever.
And I guess he forgot to send people around to pick up his signs because there's still Trump signs
I
everywhere.
know, right? There's still Trump signs everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing I did not like about him because him encouraging people to get the vaccine. Um, he was he was basically he throughout his administration he had bad people behind him
Mm-hmm.
because one man running a country cannot make all the decisions without advisors.
Nope.
And he had some pretty bad Obama holdover, I'm gonna call them advisors, whispering in his ear.
What's up, Navy vet? 12B.
I almost wished I'd have had an advisory position because we'd have got this country straight real quick, and it'd have been a lot. It wouldn't be promoting that. It would be promoting personal freedom. It would be no gun control. It would be getting some of these laws that affect our freedom off the books, and get us back down the road to this country that the way our forefathers designed it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've been saying too. I would have hired you as my one of my higher what do you call them, advisors. We almost need somewhat of a dictatorship at this point, just so we can get rid of all this bureaucracy. You know, the only problem is as soon as these people get power, none of them want to give it back. You know what I mean? And I mean, I feel the same way even about the military.
Yeah.
You know, if martial law was declared, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, the military is in charge of everything. That's dangerous too, man.
In a way, it is, but in the same token, like I tell people, do the math. There's only like 1 million soldiers that are qualified, basically combat type troops in the United States, with a total of about 2.5 million overall personnel. Well, we got more than 1 million armed hunters, I think, in the state of Oklahoma alone. We've got 30 million deer hunters. We've got 80 to 100 million gun owners. That's a whopping number when you think of the odds. So,
JT, good to see you.
hi, JT. Good to see you again since it's only been about an hour. I see where the governor of Alabama, that woman who I thought had a little common sense, now is blaming the people that don't have the jab for their numbers, because only about 34% of Alabamans have gotten it, and she's blaming the unvaccinated people for it. Well, and here she was pro-life, and yet now she's on the other side, pro-vax.
I don't know. The way some of these people come across with this, I mean, like who was it was saying? I think it was Indy was watching him, and even his speeches now, he's still pro-vax, and it's like, really, like, seriously. Yeah, it's not even truly tested yet, and I don't know what people don't understand, but whatever. Hey, if you want to get it, if you want to be the guinea pig, be the guinea pig. I'm not gonna not talk to you or not like you because I mean, it's your personal choice. Some people, their doctors recommend it to them, and they follow their doctor's orders.
How many people out there don't take the flu shot? I never took the flu shots.
I never have.
There was never any forced mandate to take the flu shots or threats of not flying on airplanes or not crossing borders. And the flu's killed more people every year than anything else for years.
Yeah, exactly. Except
they didn't do $1 million lottery for you to get in on to take the flu shot. I mean, I don't understand some of this craziness to force all this on us when the numbers from the CDC say how few people actually are dying from the virus. So it's just, I mean, I'm not anti-vaccination for some things. I've had the childhood vax for polio and diphtheria and smallpox, and I think they gave me the one for smallpox, but they got it mixed up. Tough crowd. Well, now we've got not only the Delta variant, we've got the Lambda variant.
Nice.
What's next? The zombie variant? Come on, I want zombies. I'm ready for zombies.
Some of these people,
I'm ready for zombies. Give me the zombie variant. Put it out there. Let's go.
Yeah, then we could finally put that chipmunk, his statement that he put out there is like, hey, you only need that in case of a zombie apocalypse. Like, all right, well, let's hear, butch. Now what?
Yeah.
I guess pull all your guns out from behind your tuna and fucking beef jerky and stuff.
Yeah. I had an ATF agent ask me one time if I was scared of a zombie apocalypse. I told him, nope, I ain't scared of a zombie apocalypse at all.
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'm scared of them robot ninja mole people from the center of the earth that come up through the floor and get you when you least expect it. And he looked at me like, what?
Hey, maybe we should.
I just grinned. I had him. No.
Hey, what's up, Phoenix?
Yeah.
What's up, Josh?
I agree, AV. Yep. We wanted zombies and we got masks. Hey, Gardner Josh. Good to see you, brother. Hope things are working out well with your new job.
Oh, you got a new job?
That's what I heard.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. If you like your work, then it's not a job. If you don't like your work, then it's a job.
Yeah. And that's what I liked about my last job was I was actually, I enjoyed to go to work, but they paid me to be there. So, I mean, I got the best of both
And
worlds.
you can't get it back?
Not yet. Although that doesn't mean that I can't go up there and put my application in, and I don't know how the rehiring would go. I mean, maybe since I've already worked there in the past, it would be really quick, but
No,
you
Josh
know,
is making AR parts. You're making gun parts.
what? No way.
He says it's very low stress, and I'm making AR parts. I hope he's talking about gun parts, not
That is
Arkansas parts or something.
awesome. Making AR parts, like what kind of parts? Like, are we talking about? I mean, are we talking about like muzzle brakes, silencers?
Internals, triggers, hammers, barrel nuts.
He's the spring inspector.
Oh my gosh, he just sent me a picture.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit, he's doing barrels. Or no,
Char-
okay,
charge
they're
charge
charging.
handles and aluminum. Looks like aluminum fore ends and fancy charging handles.
Cool.
Wow, that's awesome sauce.
Shrouds.
Mm,
Okay, there we go. Shrouds and
Shroud,
charging.
yeah, barrel
Cool.
shroud. Well, if you got any blims that you can, they're not going to sell, and you come down this way, you can bring me a sample. I'll test them out.
Right.
Sweet. Using a CNC machine, Josh, because I know you're probably not doing that by hand.
Yeah, dude, come on, man. The amount of filing and everything it would take. Good lord.
Well, I mean, I make stuff like that all by hand, but it takes a long time, so it's not
That's
really
what
a
I'm saying.
production
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. If you're not working for like a custom shop,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, he's doing CNC. That's cool. Excellent.
right on.
That means, in theory, they're all supposed to come out exactly alike. In theory. Hi, Phoenix. I don't understand that. People jump in the pool and now she's going to go take a shower. You was in the pool, you're clean. Why would you jump in the shower?
Wash off the chlorine.
Oh, that you dry that off, it's gone.
Right, Joe?
I'm not going to ask Yogi why he would 3D print that. Not going. Not going there. Not going there.
Hey, what's up, Ark Wild?
Hey, Art.
Yeah, I always found that assembling my rifles gave me a sense of confidence,
Yeah.
especially once you finally get it out to the range and fire it off, and everything works smooth as silk.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny boy.
On a side note, I went to a little closeout store we got here west of the bigger town there where I'm at, and they had these on sale for $1.
What? What is that? Is that like one of those credit card holders?
No, it's a 2200 milliamp hour battery pack for recharging your cell phone.
Oh, okay.
Comes with the cable and all, but for $1, I bought 3 of them and charged one up, and I thought, man, that's pretty cheap. And they're actually from a company called Solar Ray in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, which I drive through that area to go to Tulsa. But recharges up to 300 plus times, 2200 milliamp hours for recharging your smartphones from 75 to 100%. Hey, for $1, I thought I'd give them a try. They had a whole tub full
Yeah.
of them. So throw that in the go bag in case your phone's going out when you're on a long hike or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got several of them too. I've got one that's just like a power pack like that,
Yeah.
and then I've got two small solar ones,
Hmm.
and then I've got a much bigger one
That bigger
that
one,
I
yeah.
keep around the house. And that thing, it's badass. Like when it's fully charged, it'll have like 3 bars on it, and I can charge like a phone. I can charge my phone probably 3 or 4 times before that third light will just start flashing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it holds quite a bit of power. You could probably charge a laptop with that thing, I'm betting.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's solar. It's a solar charger too. Except it's got much bigger panel.
I'm going to start looking at picking up maybe some more spare, like alternators, like Chevy one wire, because I can turn those into wind generators pretty easy.
Hmm. Get a lot of wind out there, huh?
Oklahoma, where the wind comes whipping down the plain. And especially when it's storming and the sun ain't shining, the wind's blowing for the storm. So you can wind one
Yeah.
up pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. Perfect mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's why they tried to do what they did to Texas. You know, half electric, half wind.
Yeah. But there again, then you had engineers that didn't think, well, how are we going to handle it if our system goes down and our wind doesn't work or our solar doesn't work? What's our backup plan? I mean, they've got all the natural gas in the world for natural gas generators. So, I mean, don't these high paid engineers that go to school realize that, you need redundant systems for survival when people's lives are at stake?
Not anymore. I guess they forgot about that.
I should take a bunch of them to Alaska. They'll learn things real quick, like in Alaska.
$19.80. Yeah.
Yep.
That's if the EMP goes off, though. I don't know. We don't have natural gas out here. I mean, I shouldn't say we don't have it. It's just like super rare. Probably super expensive too.
Hey, Arizonans eat a lot of beans. What are you talking about?
The Mexicans do. Not so
Yeah.
much the Americans.
Yeah, they can't barbecue them because the beans fall through the grill. So.
Oh my God. That's such an old joke.
I know, but it's a good one. Some jokes are timeless.
That they are. Backwoods Law, good to see you. Hey, what's up, Forest Monster? So I guess Patriot was still on his way home. He said he'd probably pop in here. So
Thanks
yeah.
for the warning.
Right. Get to ask him how his map reading and everything went. That'd be cool.
They still do that?
That was the class that, well, yeah, that's what they're focusing on this week, and also he's doing like how to build a camouflaged hide.
Oh yeah. I actually have a little one of them that comes in a box that you take it out of the box and you just throw it and it pops into a little tiny dome camouflage hide shelter.
Don't you
brush on it.
Don't you talk crap. I'm here.
Oh shoot, we can talk all kind of crap now because I'll do it to your face.
Hey, hey, Moose Man, how are you, brother?
I'm dying, but I'm still here. So,
well, shit, we're all dying, man. I mean,
I know it. That's what it said. The statistics show 10 out of 10 people die. So,
right.
Let's face reality. Be real.
Right on. You know, right on.
Real, but no, I'm hanging in there. Just
good.
Waiting on when I can go get this taken care of at their leisure.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you dude, there was a heat advisory today. It was so freaking hot, dude. I mean, everyone was just wringing wet with sweat. And, you know, you get out in them thick woods, man, this time of year when the heat advisory, there ain't no air, you know.
Nope. Nope.
So, anyway, I got home and had a couple of things to do. Made $60 this evening.
That's
so,
good.
You know, and dude, I was after being, you know, all hot all day, and then get home, had a couple of things to do, made a little money, wringing wet sweat again, you know. I went and stepped back on the couch for a minute, man. When I got done, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm done for the day, you know. Next thing I know, I woke up and it was like 10 minutes till 7. It was just right after you sent the link, and I was like, oh shit. That's why I text you. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna be a few minutes late, man. I got to take a shower and kind of wake up.
I got you.
Oh, heat'll zap it out of you, boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you using waterproof maps, because you have to be dripping sweat when you've been over looking at them?
Yeah, they're laminated. Seriously. Well, I'll be honest with you, man. I flunked the test today. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. Pretty much all of us did, except for one guy, man. It was, but I mean, it was all the you know, magnetic north, and you know, what's this on this compass. I mean, on the protractor, I've never used any of that stuff, man.
Really?
You know? No, dude, I've been a woodsman my whole life, and I've just never been lost in the woods. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to teach that to the Air Force cadets up in Alaska. I used to teach that.
Right. Well, you know, and the guys that were teaching it are, you know, they learned it in the military too, you know, so it's, you know, but you know, the thing about it is I've got my test, and I know where I messed up at. I know, you know, what I got wrong, and I'd ordered a whole complete kit, you know, for the map reading, and it was supposed to be here. It was supposed to be here yesterday, and it didn't come in, and it's not going to be here till Monday. So
I still have my map reading tool hanging right here in my little shack.
Yeah.
That you run along, and it tells you your distance to scale. And yeah, that's a handy tool. I've had this thing probably, I don't know, at least 40 some years. I've carried this. It's been all over the country with me.
Right. Well, so, you know, I know what I missed. I know what I did wrong, you know, things like that. I've got the test that I took, and we've got another test coming up on next month when we go to an FTX. It's going to be an overnight deal. We're going to go out and build like some hides, and we're going to do a troop movement, versus Overwatch and things like that, which is going to be really cool. We've got to basically come with what's in our bags, and you know what I'm saying, and all right, no meals are provided. You got to provide your own, MREs or whatever, and so it'll be a pretty cool little deal. And I can promise you one thing: the next test, I guarantee you I'll pass it. But
Where you'll be lost.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
yeah, yeah,
It sounds
be
like
way off grid, huh?
I was gonna say it sounds like a bunch of you are gonna be lost.
What is the magnetic declination now? Is it still around 31, 32%? The degrees are rather off of north from true north from the North Pole.
Oh,
It's
because of the tilt. Oh God.
Yeah, there's
well,
magnetic north and there's true north, and it's
yeah. There's grid north, and then there's the true north, and then there's magnetic north,
right.
and so yeah, it's off a little bit. You got to
Yeah,
kind of actually tilt your map.
it was about 30, as I remember, it was about 31.5 degrees up in Alaska when I was there. So you had to, because you're going by magnetic with a compass, on your
Mm.
map it's going to be true north, but magnetic declination, you had to add the variance in there because if you was going to Nome, you might end up in Barra if
Right.
if you was off, if you didn't allow for that. So
Joe Morgan, I've been getting properties, man, for my lawn care business I started, and so I've been busy, man. I've been making some money.
did
I
you
I
get
got
backwoods? Did you get insurance for your business for liability for property
yes,
damage? Okay,
yeah,
because AV Lawns will tell you he that's what he does up in New York, and he picked up a piece of metal in somebody's yard and it took out a $3,000 plate glass window.
yes, I've
Yeah,
already yes, I got liability insurance through our insurance company. It's
yeah,
like I think it's 650 a year here
yeah. Okay,
for the size of lawn, for the amount of lawns I'm doing. And I,
Mm.
I told him where I wanted to stay at, with the amount of lawns I'm doing. And so he's so they rated it at the maximum amount of yards that I'm going to do, that I'm wanting to do or
hmm,
whatever. And
okay.
yeah, so it's about 650 a year for liability.
Yeah, because he was telling me some of these new lawnmowers, they spin the blades so damn fast. If one of them blades
Seven,
come loose, it'll go through a house.
17, some of them are 17,000.
17,000 RPM. Yeah, that's cruising along. My old,
I'm surprised that thing doesn't lift off the ground.
Oh,
well,
dude,
it
they sound.
tries.
Zane, yes. Today we were kind of really doing we were kind of doing kind of learning some stuff, and I taught the class on the hides, the and of course Mayhem was there, and then this other guy, and they're real experienced in that stuff as well. So we kind of all taught the class, but I kind of was the main teacher of the class, and we let the other guys just basically, we gave them a scenario and said, man, you need to be an Overwatch and hide, and so we let them kind of decide on what they wanted or where they wanted to do it, and then we, critiqued it or whatever back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And showed them why you don't do this here, and you know, even even going as far as knowing the direction of the sun from where you're at, because you don't want the sun to come in and light you up like a Christmas tree, and then not only are you lit up, but you're also sitting there in the sun, and in the woods like that, there's no air, and you're going to sit there and bake to death, so yeah, we covered it all pretty thorough. And but so we didn't do any videos today, but on this next one coming up, Mayhem and I are actually going to do several videos, you know, on things, you know. So it'll be next month, but we're going to do several videos that weekend, and we're actually going to try to live stream a little bit too.
No, hopefully you get signal. What's up, Stanley?
Hey,
Patrick.
Patrick.
Yeah, AV wants to know how much you charge per acre there, backwoods, because that's his business. He's a big professional lawn care guy and property maintenance in New York.
Is he
Well, it.
Sorry, couldn't help it. I live in Arizona.
Well, AB, the thing about here is I live in a small town, and it's more of a kind of the way I'm doing it is I look at a yard and I kind of know what some of the businesses that are up here are charging, and I'm just gonna tell you like this. Like, I've got a yard right across the street over here. I got three yards in my neighborhood, which is perfect because I can make my mower payment off of them 3 yards, my equipment payment, and $40 profit. So what I did was I went over and looked at that yard, and I just looked at it, and I'm like, you know, I can do that property in an hour. I can cut the property, weed eat, and blow down by myself in an hour. So I just go around $30 or $35 an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
And you know it. And man, I like dude stopped by the house when I told him what I, you know, and he was like, because he was moving in over there. It's his sister that's moving in over there, and I told him, and man, he come back after they got through moving in. He's like, man, that 35 sounds really good, and dude, I can ride my mower right across the street. Now I've got the phone company. I just picked up that contract yesterday, and it's 13 properties, and it's more because they're a bunch of remote satellite, you know, them buildings, you know, and that's going to be more like almost $1,000 each time I cut the 13 properties.
There you go. Yeah, your commercial rates and your travel expense and all that.
Right.
Because you got to figure your fuel and your equipment and your depreciation and your insurances and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can do all the properties by myself, you know,
Yep.
and it'll take me 3 days for sure. Maybe I might have to work a half a day on the 4th day, and it's basically $950 is what I told him. $950 each time, and the dude was happy, and he was like, hell yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I kind of try to do around a $35 an hour minimum. You know what I'm saying? If I can go hit a yard and knock it out in 30 minutes, it's still like $35. You know what I'm saying?
That's cheap. Red wants to know if you come to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Right.
We got 9 acres that we ain't been able to get out and mow.
Yeah. Minimum lawn is 45. Yeah. See, AV, and also, you know, you're up there in New York. You know, the money is different.
True.
You know, so you know here, you know, like the guy across the street, I stole that property like quick, man, because I was talking to him, and he was like, man, he goes, yeah, they're charging me $60 each time they cut it. And I was like, 60? I was like, shit, I can knock his yard out in 45 minutes. I was like, hell, I'll charge you 40 each time I cut it. He was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And hell, all I got, it's a push mow yard, man. And I just push my mower across, like literally across the street.
Yep.
And, you know, I don't even have to carry my equipment, you know. So what I'll do, I like to weed eat first, and I do a little extra just because it's the way I like to do things. So what I'll do is I'll go weed eat first, and then I'll blow all that grass that I'm weed eating. I'll blow it out into the lawn, away from the house, away from the shrubbery and everything. Blow it out into the yard, and then I mow. And then all I got to do is start up and do a little quick blow down where, you know, on the driveway or whatever, where it might, you know, just a 2 or 3 minute blowdown, and man, it just makes the yard look so pristine and everything looks so great, you know. And yeah, so you know, that's it just so I most of the people around here are charging anywhere from 45 to 60 an hour, depending. And I just thought, man, I'm gonna go with 35 to 40 an hour and undercut people. And man, like I said, I this past week here was officially my first week in business.
Cool.
And I went from, you know, 0 yards to 13, 14, 15, 16. I've got 16 properties and at a little over $2,000 for the month.
Yeah.
Nice.
Payout. So it's working what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And I had another one of the guys, one of the guys, well, the one across the street, AV, I came in at 40 just because I literally walk across the street. Like this is my road here in front of my house is not big enough for 2 cars. Like if 2 cars meet on it, somebody has to pull over in a yard or, you know, to get by. So it's literally right there, you know. I can toss a rock over there and hit his house, you know.
Cool.
So
Yeah, that's there's no transportation charges to go anywhere to do it. You're not having to haul your equipment and that on a trailer.
right.
Yep.
And
you don't have to worry about the gas. Well, I mean, other than you said, it's one of your regular push mowers.
Yeah, it's just a push mow and a little bit of weed eating, man.
I did that when I was 15 years old in my neighborhood. That's how I got my first job. I got me a little $35 Briggs and Stratton lawnmower, and I went and mowed people's yards for money. And then I bought me a bicycle, and then I could bicycle to me another job. So, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Well, AV. Let me just put it this way. Retaliation against me is not a good idea. I'm being straightforward. I'm not telling you I'm some badass or anything like that. But when someone retaliates to me, I take that as a very serious threat. Okay, and I will deal with it as such. But
Yeah. So that's another one where you can make big money there. Backwoods is doing for these real estates that have unsold properties where the lawns need to be kept up and stuff. And you can charge them really good money to keep them up.
well,
They're a little slow paying sometimes, but that's just another outlet if you wanted more work. But AV got so many lawns, he had to put on more trucks and trailers and hire guys because he got big.
Well, basically, AV, I'm just in my first week of business, and I don't think I'm doing too bad to be in my first week of business in such a small town and already at the 2,000 a month mark, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, you know, it is what it is. And I don't really want to grow too big, you know. I just don't. I don't know. I just, you know.
And you probably, when you get your first mower paid off, go buy you a spare because about that time you're going to have some wear and tear. So if your mower goes down, you can't keep up your contract. You need another mower ready to go. So.
Or maybe you got so many contracts that you need to bring on other people and have an extra, extra mower.
The trouble is finding guys that want to work and do that kind of work. That's the problem. Nobody wants to work anymore.
Well, and some of the guys that you find too, the problem is some of the yards I've seen around that people are doing, man, they look like crap, dude. I mean, they're going in and they're mowing and weed eating all at the same time, which I understand, but they've not got any kind of routine about it. And they'll like some guy will start to mow and they'll go over there and start to weed eat and sling that weed eated grass out to where he just mowed, you know, and they don't try to blow it down or anything. And it looks like crap.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the extra time, and I can afford to do that because I don't have no overhead except for my equipment payment, you know.
And I was just on talking to AV the other day on the phone, and he was telling me he's got trackers because he supplies his men with the phones. And he just happened to check the trackers and found out that they were once in a while going to the beach and jumping in the water. But then he found out they were taking lunches at the strip club. So he's going to have a word with them about that.
Right.
Man.
Well, and you know, for me, I mean, even if I did start to get to where, you know, I had to hire a couple of people or whatever, I'm kind of one of them. I'm kind of one of them guys, man. I'm really serious about, you know, if I've got a job, you know, that's paying me, I'm real serious about that.
Yeah.
You know, and look, when we get in the truck and we're driving down the road, we can cut up and laugh and talk crap and all that. But when we get out, we're going to be professional, and you know, you ain't gonna be out there cussing and, hey, you son of a bitch, what are you doing over?
Right.
You know, we ain't gonna be doing that. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about all that right now, man. I'm wanting to keep it to where I can handle the yards myself.
Yep. Yep. Fuel and mowers is tax exempt, he said. So, you know, keep a record of your stuff there. He can help you out.
Yeah.
He knows all the ins and outs. He's
well,
a big company.
I sell him receipts. I've got a buddy that I went to high school with, and I'm still friends with him. And he's a year older than me, actually. And he started a lawn care business when he first got out of high school, and he still has that lawn care business, and he makes well over $200,000 a year.
Yep.
So I mean, he has a huge business, and so, you know, I've contacted him as well, you know, and talked to him, and you know, because I mean, we're fishing buddies. We've been friends since high school. You know, we were friends in high school. You know, so he gave me some good pointers and ins and outs and stuff. And he lives three counties away from me, so I'm not in any kind of way touching his business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Up here, he works down in the big cities and stuff, and I'm just kind of up here in the old country, you know.
Yeah. See, and I really thought you at the beginning you was kidding about this. I thought you, when you said you was going into lawn care, I thought you was going into trimming women's bushes.
Right. Well, I thought about doing that too. I bought me like a 20-something inch damn hedge trimmer over here.
Well, that must be for them Arkansas women.
Yeah, that's them Arkansas hillbilly women, man. They get some of the shrubbery gets a little you know, out of hand. If you know what I mean.
Some passing through there that look like Sasquatches.
Some of them want their backs trimmed, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you might have a problem.
And you got to go over the rolly hills.
Houston, we got a problem.
If you get really good at it, Moose, you can put a high top fade on one of them's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look like a mohawk going down their back.
Or you can leave in the hair where it says "turn her around."
That's gross, dangerous, and Moose, you ought to be ashamed of yourself talking about that stuff.
Yeah, I know, man. This is supposed to be
terrible.
a family. This is supposed to be a family channel.
He turns his camera off. You can always tell when we embarrass Dangerous, he turns his camera off for a minute.
Yeah,
you see what AV Lon said out there? Let's see. Don't take on more than you can cut in 3 days solo.
Yeah, and a week's worth of rain will kill you.
Boy, you ain't kidding.
Yeah.
We get a lot of rain here. Hell, it rained today.
And get commercial auto insurance. He just found out one of his crews was at a light and got hit head on by another car, and it wasn't their fault. It was the car's fault, and totaled out his vehicle, his mowers, his trailer, and everything. Yeah. and he's got inland marine insurance or something, but they're still working out the details on
Right.
the vehicle and the trailer. But he had to go out and buy a new trailer, a new truck, new mowers and stuff to get his crew back to where they could work. And some of his crew got banged up pretty good, but
Well,
it cost him a lot of money, and they don't pay off real fast. So
AV will like this. It's the 20 volt DeWalt. It's actually a 22 inch
oh yeah,
hedge trimmer. And the reason why I went with DeWalt, because I already have an impact, one of the big XR or whatever impacts, you know, the 20 volt. And I've got a skill saw that's 20 volt as well. And so I went with this. I figured the same thing, man. I didn't want a gas powered trimmer, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, the few people up here that does have some hedges or something, you know, it's just it'll be 4 or 5 little hedge bushes, you know. And man, this right here, I've got like 4 batteries.
Yeah.
Between all of this equipment I got, so man, I could jump out and you know, trim up a hedge bush and be gone, you know. So
we went with the Greenworks because Red can't start saws and stuff like that. So we've got the 40 volt Greenworks with the hedge trimmer, the weed whacker, the blower, and the chainsaw. And then we got a 20 volt pole saw for trimming trees too. But we figured too, if shit hits the fan, I can still use a solar charger, a battery, and an inverter and charge those batteries, so we can still cut firewood. You know, we can still weed whack and all that. And they're really powerful tools. I mean, I can't believe that little electric saw for trimming, how powerful it is. But the hedge trimmer's the same way.
I want to show you something. When I was down there at the equipment place to pick this up, they had this sitting down there, and this is for a chainsaw. I know my green screen's messing with it. This is for a chainsaw. It just opens up, and you just put it over the chain. Well, look here. It actually fits perfectly.
Okay. Mine came with a sleeve.
Well, this one didn't, but it actually fits perfectly over this right here. Bam.
Yeah.
And
there you go. Protect your blades.
This thing was $10. I was like, shoot, throw that in. I'll take it. So anyway.
Well, I was thinking if it was a grid down situation, you might want to let your lawn build up. Then when people drive or walk by or whatever, they'd see all the overgrowth and be like, nope. Now they might think nobody lives there, or they might think, hey, definitely somebody lives there.
Right.
That's one of the, you can put an inverter in your truck.
I mean, in a situation like that, say we haven't had power for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all of a sudden you get people coming by, you know, if your house looks like it's empty, they're probably going to be more tempted to come after you. But if it's not empty, there are certain people that are going to come after you. So
actually, Moose man, hey, something I found out from a buddy of mine. The 7-prong plugs, actually one of them is a charger that comes from your alternator on your vehicle to plug into campers. He's got a camper, and he's got a little was it isolator or something like that in it, and he plugs his camper in because a lot of the stuff on the camper uses, you know, it's 12 volt. He's got a couple of batteries in there. And it charges his batteries while he's going down the road.
Right.
Cool.
I've got an inverter. I've got an inverter mounted inside on the passenger side of my Blazer that wires up to my battery, and I can plug my battery chargers in there for my stuff while I'm driving and charge my batteries as I go for my battery operated devices. And it's handy to have them.
Well, he's got so his deal's got a couple of batteries in it. And then he's got an inverter, you know, and that's in his camper that he can plug in, you know, some power. And so, yeah, that's what he told me. He said, man, I wired, you know, so he's going to help me do that on my truck. I've got the 7-prong plug already on my truck.
There you
So
go.
he's going to help me convert it to my trailer because I've got a 6x12 enclosed trailer that
Okay.
I already had. It was paid for, and I'm like, shit, I'm just going to use it, for my lawn care.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
you can mount your chargers right there in your trailer on a little bench and something and keep your batteries charged while you're going down the road, and then you ain't gonna run out of power. That's cool.
It's the way to go.
hey, by the way, this is just water, folks.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's adult
Yeah.
water.
What proof
From
water?
100.
100.
Good God.
Yeah, it's 100 proof. It's 100 proof. So, my first official week in business, and I have scored 16 accounts.
Cool.
Hoorah.
And you've already got your
Salute.
first payday. So these neighbors, do they pay you before or after you cut it? How does that work? After you cut it?
Yeah, just when you're done, now the telephone company, I have to turn in an invoice on Thursday, and they'll have me a check ready on Friday.
Cool.
Wow.
So that's not a big deal. And I hit that guy up too, man. I was like, say, man, has anybody ever hit you up about doing, year-round maintenance, wintertime maintenance on your properties? Any limbs down? Because a lot of these are out in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, nobody really ever brought that up. And I was like, well, I mean, dude, I got a chainsaw. I got all kinds of equipment, I've got, I said, he said, he goes, that really might be something I want to look at. He said, because, a lot of my guys throughout the wintertime, they go there to fix something, and then they have to pick up the limbs and, clean. And he goes, man, it'd probably be just better if I just paid you to do that. And I was like, there you go. I said, man, I'll just, we can figure out a rate, for once a month. I'll go in and go through all the properties, or anytime there's a storm, up here, I'll go through all the properties and make sure everything is secure. There's no big limbs down in the road or anything like that. If a tree's down, I can cut the tree up and remove it, and we'll work out some kind of a price range.
Yeah, now a tree down, I think you'd have to work out an extra kind of.
And get free firewood to boot.
But
exactly.
But,
So he's very interested in a wintertime schedule, and he also owns about 40 rent houses. And he told me, he said, would you be interested in doing some other stuff? And I was like, yes. And he goes, okay. He goes, he said, well, get this route going. And he said, I'll come up with some stuff. He said, I may have some other things for you to mow and stuff as well. And I was like, bet. Hell, I may make enough money off this one account, man. I don't have to worry about getting anybody else's property. I can keep these 3 right here across the street, and everything else will be profit, man.
There you go. That's good thinking. Good thinking.
So on commercial, right? The contract, so you get paid monthly, not per cut, monthly charge.
Oh, okay.
How come is that? How come is that, AB? I'm just curious. I'm asking how come would you do to get paid monthly instead of because
Hey, Michelle. I would guess
most businesses work on a monthly basis as far as doing the billing and accounts payable and stuff like that. I know we do. We pay our mower guy. We pay him $150 to mow our water company yard twice a month, $75 a pop. And, and then we pay him once monthly because that's when you do your accounts payable and do your bills.
Well, this guy's the one that told me. He was like, when you come, he said, when you do the properties, he said, just turn in your invoice by Thursday and I'll pay you on Friday. So
you can't beat that with an ugly stick.
That was his suggestion, So he said that's why he's been doing it. So I don't know. Hey, Pro Life, what's going on?
Yep. Yeah, because
So, you
AV
know,
does like a big Harley Davidson dealership with a big open field and yard and stuff, but they pay monthly on most of those, and
boy,
so will your real estate companies will pay a monthly
I,
contract.
I ain't gonna lie, I'd be nervous as hell cutting grass around them Harley dealership,
No,
man, them Harleys, and because I know the last Harley dealership I seen had a big giant plate window up there, you know, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
that
that's why he
just
carries
saying that,
insurance.
yeah, yeah, that'd make me nervous as hell cutting
Yep.
around. But anyway, so yeah, I apologize for being a little bit late, Dangerous. I ain't gonna lie, man. I got set down on that couch for a few minutes in that air, boy, and I was out like a light, dude. I was like,
Yep.
jeez.
no, I get it, dude. Dude,
Well,
it was like 4 o'clock. I was about to fall asleep. I was like, if I fall asleep now, there's no way I'm gonna even make it up for this show. So I went ahead and I just got my second wind.
yeah. Like my boss said when I was late for work, if you can't get here on time, get here when you can. So
Mm-hmm.
Makes
Yeah,
it easier. Accounting covers
I
you.
tried to be early from then on.
I always tried to be early.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't help it.
I always stayed late though too. You know, I wasn't locking the
Yeah,
door at 5 o'clock or 5:30 if there was customers still wanting to come in and do business. I'd stay open as long as people needed parts, you know, and make money
yeah.
because I was making money.
Oh, Reese!
Yeah.
No, I was always the kind of guy. Well, especially at the last job, my last my last company. I won't even call it a job. The last
Hey
place I
Mo.
worked. Like they'd be like, "Hey, do you want to work this weekend?" And this weekend it meant you'd do 10 hour because we did 4 10s Monday through Thursday, and then what we'd do since there were four of us on the crew, we would alternate weekends, but there were a lot of weekends where there were some people that had other plans or just lazy. It's like I need the 40 a week. That's it, and I don't want to work Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And I was like, yeah, I'll work. Come on, man, I'll do it. Fucking month in a row.
You know, the
Month in
day
a
I really didn't want to work, I didn't want to work on a Monday. I
Yeah,
hated
all
Monday.
right,
Man,
dude.
I know. I hate Mondays,
And
man.
when I
God.
got to Alaska and wasn't working and was kind of living in the bush, I loved Mondays because I didn't have to get up and go to work. I could do what I wanted to do.
I think I'd rather work Friday than Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I get
I'd
that.
rather work Fridays and Saturdays. It didn't matter to me. And
I don't
I'd
want to
work
work
Sundays
Saturday.
too because
Well,
I wasn't
I
no,
still got kids at home, so Saturday and
Family.
Sunday, is
I didn't have none of that to worry about.
right.
But I see
So
your point. Yeah, you want to spend time
yeah,
with family.
yeah. So Saturday and Sunday, I want to be off, but I'd rather if I was going to get a day off during the week, I'd rather it be a Monday, just just because I hate Mondays, man. It's
Yep,
just
I
like,
did too. I hated Mondays.
And
okay.
see for us, normally it would be like 10 hours Friday and then 6 hours. So if you go in at 6, you're still out of there by noon. You still got the rest of your day and most of your evening left. Yeah, I mean, you're not that tired after 6 hours. I mean, you're still in there working, but like seriously, if it's not that hard, that physical of a job, you still got plenty of function left. So
the the cool thing about the way this is working out so far is the three properties I've got here, I cut every 2 weeks. And then, the telephone company I cut every 2 weeks. He wants them cut every 2 weeks. So I'm starting the 2 week schedule Monday for the telephone company, and I just did these three properties, these
Staggered
last
them.
day or so. So
Staggered them.
yeah, so they're staggered. So basically, what's going to happen right now? I'm going to work basically one day, 1 week, and work 4 days the next week, and then work one day next. You know what I mean?
okay,
And
Yeah,
yeah, for that kind of price, man, and
yeah.
you know these three properties they all want them done on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I can knock out all three properties on Friday, no problem.
Yeah.
And because getting home, some of them are work a lot and they get home and they don't want to mess, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's really worked out. The schedule is freaking awesome right now.
Yeah. And then you just have to schedule you in your maintenance day for doing your oil changes and your blade sharpening and all that, because that's you got to do now. You got to keep
Oh
up
yeah.
with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Keep them machines and always get you extra belts and all that stuff and a
Yeah.
tire repair kit for your
Don't forget the
mower.
oil. Don't forget the oil.
It never ends, but
Got to remember oil.
Well, one of the things because I worked for a lawn care business when I was probably about 25, 26 years old. And I worked there for about 3 years, and it was a big it was a landscape and lawn care business, you know. And I one of the things I always did every Friday was I came in and I maintained every piece of equipment I had, and because the boss recognized that, I was the only one that would do it. So anytime they would buy new equipment, they would give me the new equipment and give my used equipment to another crew. Because we had like 10 crews or something like that. And I had my own crew. I ran my own crew. And dude, I came in every Friday and I would maintenance all my equipment. You know, I'd go in, clean the air filters and, you know, check the oil, make sure, you know, and every time I got through cutting, when the guys would be blowing down, I would have them and I would tell them, blow the mowers down real quick, you know, just blow the grass out from the pulleys and stuff. And so I'm doing the same thing with my mower. You know, I'm going to, man, that's your money machine. You know what I mean? And, you know, taking care of it is absolute 100%, man. I mean, if you don't take care of it and it's broke down, you ain't making no money.
AV changes his oil weekly and it sharpens his blades every 2 days. That's how much he's using his.
Yeah. I do check my oil anytime. I mean, before I start my mower, I check my oil, you know.
Yeah, and you already had the one issue with the oil. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a factory deal. It's
but still, it made you think.
Yeah. Don't forget to carry a spare plug.
Yeah, I've actually.
Jeremy came on earlier. He's like, I'm cleaning the kitchen, and then Phoenix comes on. Do you have your French maid attire on?
AV.
Oh, that's good. That was a good one, Phoenix. No doubt.
AV, I do want to tell you that is one thing I have advantage over people here. I've noticed because I actually worked for a guy here about a month ago. I kind of, you know, was helping him do some lawns. And one thing I've noticed here is there's a lot of guys here that will not sharpen their blades for a long time. And you can look at their yards, man, and you'll see them sprigs sticking up everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I was helping that guy, I'd notice and I'd tell him every day, I'd be like, dude, you need to sharpen them fucking blades. You know, I was like, I'll come to your house. I'll help you. You know, we'll sharpen them. Oh man, we'll get to it, you know, another day. And so because I'm kind of there's no such thing as a perfectionist, but I'm kind of a perfectionist. You know what I mean? I see when I was helping him, I would see them sprigs sticking up, and because I did the weed eater mostly. I love running a weed eater, and I would go and walk across the yard and hit them sprigs, you know, and knock them down, man, because that just looks like hell, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I
had 3 sets of blades. So what I would do is I'd keep 2 sets sharpened and pull the dull set off, throw a new set on, and then I'd sharpen my blades and balance them. That's real critical, especially on these new high-speed mowers, is to have a good balancer for your blades.
Oh God, yeah.
Or it'll take them spindles out quick. But yeah, that's what I did, and it saved a hell of a lot of time that way. Just swap them blades out because there was only one bolt underneath there. Pull that blade off, put a new blade on, and go.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Well, I've got a couple of them.
How in the hell do you balance a mower blade?
Well, it's a thing that looks like a pyramid, kind of round pyramid thing on a point spindle, and the blade sets on there and floats.
Oh, kind of almost like a ceiling fan.
You grind off the balance and get the weight right. So
Is it kind of like a ceiling fan then?
It looks like the plumb bob. You know what a plumb bob looks like? Yeah, it looks like a plumb bob, and you stick the blade on there, and you want them balanced as possible, because if they're unbalanced, they will wobble, and like you said, they'll wear your bearings and your spindles.
Oh, you're talking about balanced on the shaft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. It's the blade. You don't.
From end to end, from center out,
from end to end.
Each end has to be from the center out has to weigh the same. So that's where you get the balance. If one end's heavier and you put it on there, that mower will sit there and do this number, and it'll take them lower bearings out.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does the same thing if your tires aren't balanced. I get you.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong on that. But
so they make a little blade balancer thing that has a center pin in it, like a round. It looks like a little round pyramid with notches in it that your blade sits in. And then once you get it right, it'll all sit there nice and true and level, and you can look at the thing from overhead, and you'll see that it's not cocked one way or the other. And if you got a little cock, you can take a file on there and draw file. I used to draw file my blades for the final cut. It'll make them sharp as hell. And you could draw file them and balance them out. I have to do that on Red's John Deere riding mowers all the time.
Yeah, it's but anyway,
balance. Yeah, there ain't no balance. You're cutting down fucking grass.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's something that, you know, I'm already for the state and for the area I live in, I'm already at a good high end mid money situation, or what I don't know. You might can help me out here. What I'm trying to say.
Annual income.
Annual income.
Yes, projected annual income. Yeah.
I'm already at the higher end of what, you know, a mid kind of person, you know, here in this state would be. So
now see, like AV in New York, he only works 4 or 5 months out of the year, because the rest of the time he got snow to deal with, so you ain't cutting lawns.
Right. Oh, wow. Okay.
And he makes money in the summer.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of snow, do you, backwoods? I mean, I know you get some, but not really. Yeah.
No, we don't get much snow. And the thing about it is, here in Arkansas, man, I'll be honest with you, I know I've had to cut my yard before I went to deer camp in November, because I mean it can be that warm, you know, that the grass is still growing, you know.
Same here in Oklahoma. If we get the rain too, you know, oh man.
Yeah, no doubt, right, John?
My bush hog, I got trees growing in my pasture because it ain't been mowed yet one time, with me being in the hospital and all that, when I'm normally mowing. And now I'm recovering. I ain't even got my bush hog on my tractor.
Is this your own? Is this your first own business?
Yes. Well, unless you consider selling drugs back in the day.
Yeah, no.
To do that quite often, but no, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, this is officially, my first business ever of my own.
Awesome, dude. I hope you succeed, man. It sounds like you're doing good so far. So
far, man.
You know, but the only other thing you're gonna have to worry about is motherfuckers not paying you. Are you ready to go start breaking caps?
That and self-employment taxes.
You know, I've got a fix for that. If somebody don't pay me, there's a thing called a sprayer and diesel fuel.
Oh no! In Buffalo, they use ice cubes made out of centipede or barrier. Ain't nothing going to grow there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're yeah, you can,
Highland still comes on once in a while, but
that would suck for somebody not to pay me, and they wake up the next morning and they're with the at the smell of diesel fuel, and they go outside and their yard is like all
green.
brown and
Oh, yeah,
nasty and diesel fuel and all their hedge bushes and all that, and it's just everything's
What's
covered
up, backwoods?
their vehicle.
I mean, backcountry. What's up, Vaughn? Yeah, we're talking about lawn care right now.
What's up, backcountry preps?
About cutting the grass,
Yeah,
trimming the bushes.
Actually, he's got property up north, but he probably doesn't really need like a chainsaw. Yeah, but as far as lawnmower, nah, not really. All you need.
backcountry preps, don't let them lie. We're talking about trimming bush professionally. Yeah, see, he knows what's up.
Round up ice cubes. Shit. It sounds expensive though. But you know what? If it costs a couple $100 and they owe you a couple thousand, maybe it's worth it. You make sure their lawn doesn't grow again, or you could be like, hey, I can help fix your lawn, but you're gonna pay me up front now. No more of this fucking,
Well,
2, 3, fucking 4 months late. That's the only thing I worry about with you taking a commercial job is some of these fuckers, they don't pay you in the first month. I'm dealing with something similar, but yeah, just be careful. I know you are though.
most of the people I'm dealing with, are like people I already know. I mean, I know, I know the people down there at of course, the telephone company. They're not gonna do that anyway. He's real. He's a real stickler for he gets something done. He pays his people. I mean, I know this from when I was in the plumbing business. We worked on some of his rent houses, and he was very quick to make sure you got paid and everything. So he's really good about that. You know,
And
word of mouth, especially in a small town, man, goes
Yeah.
very far, very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it can be in a bad way or a good way, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer Nicole's question, I'm just hanging in there, Nicole. I'm still in a lot of pain. The doctor wouldn't give me any pain medication, so I'm down to a few of my capsules left for pain, and I'm probably going to have to go back to Texas and see my other surgeon uh, because my doctor here, I've decided I'm going to have to find another doctor. She doesn't want to treat me. I mean, what are you scared of giving me pain medication for? She wanted me to go to the emergency room. It's like, look, I've been in the hospital. I'm out of the hospital. I've had surgery. I've had CT scans. I've had imaging. They didn't find anything that would require me to go. I'm just still in the healing process, and it takes pain medication for the nerves and scar tissue and stuff to heal. And so she doesn't want to give me pain medication. It's like, well, you don't want to be my doctor then. And I don't need to go to the emergency room. I just got a bill from the hospital for $109,000. How much do you want me to owe these bastards?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. I'm surviving, Helen, and you guys. I'm going to survive. I'm trying to keep a positive attitude, whether I'm hurting or whether I'm not. If I don't feel good and I don't get on the panel, I may be watching and listening. I'm out here. So until I take my last breath, I am not giving up. Until that last breath is out of me, then I have to give up. So I'm not giving up.
You got a long ways.
That's right.
AV Lawns, I did not buy a gun this week, but I am looking at buying one next week. Well, this coming week when I get paid, I've been wanting something really bad, and some people like them, some people don't. I really like them. I really want one, and that's Beretta, the M9.
M92.
I got my M9. I like my M9.
But now hold on. I'm having a really hard time finding a Beretta M9.
No,
But
no.
now, huh?
They're $400 right now on sale on Gunbroker.
Really?
Yeah, I just seen them. The one like I paid $500 for, they're on sale for $400 in several places.
Really? Well, see, here's the thing. All right, I've been wanting one anyway, but so my brother-in-law was in the military, you know, and so when he came home, he had quite a bit of equipment, and he was like, "Man, I just want to get rid of this stuff. You want it?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I want it." Well, one of them is a retention holster for the Beretta M9, and I told my wife, I was like, this holster is really sad because it's lonely, and it needs the gun to go in it. And she's looking at me funny, and she's like, "Well, why don't you just sell the holster?" And I was like, "Well, that's not even right. You shouldn't even say anything like that." And I was like, "I need a gun to go in it." She's like, "Oh Lord, here we go." so I think I need a gun to go in the holster. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's kind of shifty how you did it, but it's a good tactic. I like it. If I was married,
I got lucky. Found this at a yard sale for $5. They're backwoods.
Nice.
The whole rig for an M9, and it is a
shoulder carry.
It's a Galco.
Yeah, it's
a Galco M9 shoulder rig for $5, and my M9 fits perfect in it. It's what it's.
How often do you use a shoulder rig?
A lot. It's easier, especially in the fall when you're wearing a light jacket or a coat, to wear a shoulder rig and you don't have it on your hip, and it's actually rides on your shoulder a lot easier than it does on your hip. But,
no, I lost. I'll catch you later, bud.
Nice rig.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess I'd have to try one, but down here in Arizona, dude, there's so seldom where you actually wear a jacket. I mean, you might get like 4 months out of the year. You have to wear a jacket, like, early in the morning, like before the sun comes up.
You can do it with a light shirt too, wearing a t-shirt and put your rig on, and then a light shirt over the top of it, just to where it covers it, because it sits under your left arm. But I've got a DeSantis a rig for my 45 that I used for years. And it's the same way. It counterbalances with 2 mags on the right side, and you're under the shoulder holster on the left.
Let me ask you a question. You ever heard of a Garrison?
Yeah, that's a Turkish-made shotgun.
No, well they have a Garrison Regard MC Beretta M9 clone, and it actually takes the magazines are actually Beretta M9 mags.
Yeah, but I wouldn't buy one.
Most all the parts are interchangeable as well.
I wouldn't buy one. They're gritty. Their machining is not up to the Beretta standard quality. And like I said, you can get a brand new Beretta for $400.
Really?
Brand new M9 Beretta. I just saw them last week. Yeah. Several locations had them on sale for $400 in the box. Brand new Beretta M9.
AV, by the way, I didn't buy a new gun, but about 2 weeks ago, I got another 50 rounds of double up.
No.
And also, Moose Man at my local tobacco shop. Yeah. I found the good stuff.
You told me. Yeah, you got the red. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's all right. It's a lot more mild.
Rip Curl, did you get that Garrison?
Yeah, well, some people buy Tauruses too, and you won't catch me owning one of them.
It's my target gun, man. Give me
actually, see, AV Lawns, who is also a gun dealer, by the way, and a class manufacturer, he bought some of them Turkish-made guns, and he bought some of the Chinese-made guns just to check out. The 1887 was Chinese, but he bought some of the Turkish shotguns, and they're horrible. I mean, they're gritty. They're machining on them. They're cheap, but they're not a quality weapon.
I don't know that one that I held, because I know where to go get one at right now, and the one I held, that son of a bitch was nice. and I racked it and I messed with it, and it's got. I mean, it is a Beretta M9 made by another company. I mean, it's the parts are interchangeable.
Yeah, but would
It
you
takes
buy a
Beretta
blow up
make-
doll that would you buy a blow up doll that felt good over your wife because they were similar? No, you go get the original.
Well,
You go get the
it depends on.
Beretta.
Well, back in the day, it would depend on what time of the month it was.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? I kind of look at guns similar to how I look at vehicles. It doesn't matter if you buy a Ford or a Chevy,
I know that.
Dodge. You're gonna get quality in one of those vehicles. Toyota, Nissan. Dude. Like I've got a Taurus. Okay, I had one small issue. I cleaned the extractor. Boom, no more issue. Clean the carbon off. Thing runs like it was brand new again.
Well, I know
I-
that.
You know, and
I
it's
know
like
that the Turkish military. That's what they're issued.
is what Taurus.
No, the garrison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a Turkish made
Right.
company. But where are they getting their steel from? Where are they getting their what's the quality of their steel and their manufacturing is the thing that we look at. And I've seen so many Turkish made stuff that just doesn't meet my quality standards as far as a gun that I want to put risk my life on.
All I'm saying for this particular pistol,
Mm-hmm.
I've watched probably 15 or 20 YouTube videos of all these gun guys that's what they do is test them, and I haven't found one yet that said they didn't like it. They said they love them.
To each his own. But how much is the Garrison compared to a $400 brand new M9 Beretta?
I don't remember. I think it was $350. I think it came with 2 magazines and
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you the only time that the last time I seen a Beretta M9, it was $680.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I think I've got your email somewhere. I can dig up the links because, like I said, I just saw them on sale, brand new in the box, and I think it had 2 mags with the book and everything. Brand new Berettas were $400 because I said, "Damn!" Because I paid a $500 for mine for the exact same M9 model. I paid $500 for mine with 2 mags in the box.
Sounds like
AV can probably find it.
I'm looking right now.
Are you on Gunbroker? I mean, I've been on Gunbroker. I've got my own handle on there, but I haven't bought through them yet.
Beretta M9
maybe ammo.
22 is $400. Beretta M9 starting bid $629. Beretta M9 $675.
Shit, it's gone up, Moose.
Well, I just saw the 9mm that match the same ones I had for sale. They were on sale.
Here's one. The current bid is $404 for a Beretta M9, 2 15-round mags, new in the box. The current bid is $404. Beretta M9 $579. Beretta M9 $599. Beretta M9 $579. Beretta M9 synthetic grip $715. $625. $579.
Hey, Vanessa.
The 22s on here are around $359 to $400.
Wow.
Yeah.
Factory new Beretta M9 compliant model with 2 10-round mags, $599.
Oh, California
compliant model, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Yeah.
22 long rifle, $359.
Generally, those come as a what, 19 round double stack, right? 19, is it 19 with one in the chamber or 20 with one in the chamber? You get a 19 round magazine.
I forget who had the sale on them. Dang, I wished I'd have wrote it down who had the sale on, but they showed them brand new in the box and they were the 9mm, had the same part number that my Beretta M9 had, and but they were $400.
Yeah, the last one I seen was $680 something. It was right at $700 for the last one I seen in person.
How many rounds can you put in the magazine though?
They're 15.
I think mine holds 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah, I use a standard M9 military mags, because the California compliant are 10+1.
Okay.
Beretta M9 pistol from Sportsman's Warehouse is $548.
Hmm.
That's for the 92 FS.
Yeah, that's the civilian version of the M9.
Okay. So yeah, he's saying he can find them for $389. Let me see. Let me click on this link. Hold on.
Those may be the 22. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock.
I don't know, that Garrison, or however you say that I watched them guys dump mags to them and everything, man, and they seem to be a pretty good little pistol.
Oh shit.
Well, if that's what you want, go buy it. That's what I always tell people.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like I
If
said,
you
will
Yeah.
it hold the value of a Beretta? I can't answer that question.
I don't
Will it
know.
hold up? Will it hold up under bad conditions? How is the steel in good shape? Are the parts inside hard, properly hardened, like they weren't in Tauruses that we discovered, that they weren't factory hardened properly, and they failed within a box of ammunition? That's the things you got to look at. When I buy a gun, one thing I look at, I'm putting my life on the line with this gun. Do I trust that gun to work when I want it to?
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I ain't buying it.
Mhm.
That's the whole key. I mean, if you're buying a little plinker, for out target practicing, that's one thing. But if you're buying a self-defense weapon, that son of a bitch better work.
Every
Because
time.
you might be expecting your doom when all you get is a click and you're expecting a boom.
I'm just saying that's why I carry my two HKVP9s.
Yeah.
They freaking
HK
work.
is a great
I
gun.
love them. I love them. They're great freaking weapons.
I
I
can't even
love
afford a HK. I can't afford nothing right now, but I'm glad I bought one I could afford and did buy. But
They might be worth more than gold at one point.
yeah,
I don't know. I love my HKVP9s, man. They're freaking. I just love them, man.
yeah,
I've
yeah. There
never
is
had
one
a
part.
failure or anything.
There is one part in the Beretta that will fail, but the little transfer bar thing will fail in the Berettas. But that's the only one part. But most of the time they work. Now I'm carrying my Sig P220, and I love that gun in 45.
I don't know, Patrick. I bought a few, but I've got family members. I know at least one of them has their own firearms, but I had to make sure I've got at least enough to cover us. So I do. I don't have a million guns, but I've got enough, and I've
Yeah.
got different sizes for different situations. Like if I hear gunshots going down the street, I'm probably not going to go out there with my, shotgun trying to stop the threat. You know what I mean?
You know,
If it's in my
Dangerous.
house,
That's my only problem I've run into. is if something's out in my yard or an intruder's in my yard, I run to the gun locker, I unlock it, I open it up, and then I have a hell of a time deciding which gun I'm going to grab.
Right? Oh man. Well, at that point, if they're in your yard,
I mean, my guns are pretty much all ready to go, but which one do I grab?
exactly.
Do I need
I keep-
an
How
AR?
far do you have to? Yeah. How far do you have?
I keep 3 weapons out. The rest, everything else is in safes and stuff. But I keep 3 weapons out, and one is a 12-gauge shotgun, one is an AR, and one is a pistol.
Yep.
My 9mm.
Yeah. Well, all my guns are loaded, and my nearest ones, I keep an AK-47 with a 30-round mag. I keep an AR-15 with a 30-round mag. I keep my 12-gauge riot gun fully loaded with buckshot and slugs. And then I've got either my 45, my SIG P220, or a Ruger 44 Magnum revolver, my Red Hawk.
Mm-hmm. In case a bear comes up.
No, in case I need to stop a vehicle. I got those 300 grade solids that'll bust the engine.
I like what Waterwell guy said. I'm in agreement 100% with him.
What did he say?
The best gun to have is the one you can afford.
Yeah, and the one that you keep with
one
you.
That works.
Yeah,
yeah.
One
and the one
carry.
You can get ammo for, because a gun without ammo is a tomato steak or a boomerang that don't come back.
Or a
that
stapler.
always got me. The guys in the movies run out of ammo and they throw their gun. Like, what the hell is that going to do? If you couldn't shoot the bastard with a bullet, what the hell are you doing throwing your gun at him? That's so dumb.
Yes, A.B. Hans, a double stack 1911 is a heavy son of a gun.
Yep. A.B. just did a beautiful one on his customization of the one he got.
It gets heavy on your side after, especially if you're at a training thing and you're out there running around in the woods and shit, man, it gets real heavy real quick.
Well, Michael, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, the system that feeds California. But like, we have been getting a lot of rain the last couple of days. In fact, looks like it might even rain again tonight. So, I mean, we're getting water here. I don't know about California. I don't give a shit about them. I hate to say that because there's a lot of patriots there, but honestly, they kind of suck. And Moonchild, I've been wanting to get an AR, but the prices went up. Can't afford it. It's cheaper to buy the kit and build it yourself, but it's expensive.
Actually, you can get an M4 kit right now for about $350, and all you need is a strip lower receiver. It's got all the parts to put it together. And a strip lower you can find for about $50 to $70 transferred at an FFL dealer. So you can actually build one and then add your sights to it for about $450.
Yeah, but the thing you got to keep in mind is, does she have the drill press and everything that she needs?
No, I'm talking about a finished receiver you buy through an FFL.
Yeah, you buy a finished.
Not an 80%. Yeah, you buy a registered. Anderson receivers were on sale for $49.99. They're ready to go. All you got to do is put the parts in them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been. That doesn't machine them. Yeah.
Well, I think that's mainly just the gun store that I went to buy the lower. Just their markup. Each receiver that I bought was like $110.
Yeah, and they're marking them way up. But if you find an FFL that'll accept one that you buy and send to them, then usually they'll put it on the books for $20. Do the background check, and there you go. But
you got to know the right people. Exactly.
Right. Right.
I don't know. Somebody was turning around in my driveway. I was just seeing who it was.
Oh.
Pizza man.
I mean, as far as it goes for weaponry and stuff, I mean, I'm never going to have all the weaponry I'd like to have, but I'm satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of buying and swapping and, trying to figure out what I really liked and what was comfortable, what felt comfortable to me. And I've got it pretty narrowed down now, and
I like having a nice assorted selection because each gun has its own purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I may have several guns that do the same purpose, but it depends on which one shoots the best, like which one I'm going to use in competition versus which one I'm going to use in practice. Um, but yeah, I mean, we just we like it's like women in their shoes. It's men in their guns.
Interesting comparison, but okay. What's up, Tally?
I don't know. As far as for Helen, I believe one of them was saying to be careful about what you say or what you let be known that you got on over the YouTubes and stuff. But the three guns that I talk about are three guns that have already been out in public when I do
Mm-hmm.
my marches and such. So anybody that's took a picture of me out there in on the Capitol steps or anywhere else already knows what I got. So
Well,
on that,
And
and then
I was gonna say if you go back through my older videos from like 6 or 8 months ago, you'll see a few other firearms as well.
and me as a police officer, my guns were public. What I carried, and some on my hip, and some in the
Mm-hmm.
car, and that, and so
I'm just thinking about your list of firearms because I mean, most of it, I keep my own log of what I own. I keep serial numbers, descriptions, everything. I can only imagine what your log looks like. It's probably like a notebook fucking
I
thick.
actually have the ATF cards that I got years ago, and it's two-sided, and you fill out all your information to keep them on the ATF cards for your records.
Wow,
And there's a
wow.
lot of them been scratched off.
Hmm.
Got rid of a bunch. Because I try to trade up, or somebody's got something I want, and that they don't want anymore, and I want it. Then I try to find out what they want that I may have in a similar price range that we can make a deal on, or they can give me a little. I can give them a gun, and they can give me some cash and their gun for my gun. And we've worked gun shows for years doing that.
Yep. Exactly.
And I like to trade up. You know.
somebody was telling me today that he had he had all of his guns. He had a notebook, with all the serial numbers and some pictures and all this stuff. He had all this stuff organized.
He lost it in a boating accident.
No, his ex-wife now, when she left, she took everything, including the notebook with all the serial numbers.
Oh
She
man.
took everything. I was like, well, that really sucks.
Yeah. Well, that's like a guy I know that had a safe full of guns, and he left the notebook with the numbers of it inside the safe, and they stole the whole damn safe.
Shit.
Right.
He thought he had it secure too, and you know what they did? This was a big giant safe. I mean, it must have held like 50 guns, and it was bolted. It was in his concrete floored garage and bolted down to the wall in there. And somebody found out that he had it, and on each side of his safe were windows. So when he wasn't home one time, they backed up with must have been a wrecker, and they went through the one window, wrapped a cable around and knocked it out the other window and put a cable around the wall, the safe, and everything. And they took off with that son of a bitch and ripped the safe right through the wall and drug it down the road till they could slide it up on a trailer or something and take off. I mean, but they snatched the whole safe and all right through the wall.
Damn.
They couldn't. That is one good thing about where I live. They couldn't get away with that here. Too many people have been living here for too long, and everybody knows everybody. And
Yep.
I mean, hell, we had a strange car that it was a rent house on down, and they were coming through our little neighborhood here. Hell, I had one of the neighbors call me and was like, "Hey, have you seen this car?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've seen it already." And I told him I'd already followed them. I seen them go by, and I jumped in my truck and I followed them down there, and they were moving in this house down there. So
Well, that's
Damn
good, but
close.
at least you got people that keep up on your neighbors and neighborhood and stuff. And
Yeah.
people watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn it, man.
You smoke too much.
Mm.
That's
Smoking
all right.
more now, but getting high less.
I'll tell you what, man. I've been smoking for way less since I took Moose's advice. Now, granted, it's like you said that it doesn't seem to have the same nicotine quantity. I could tell they're lighter, even though they're still full flavor.
Right. Because they don't have that ammonia chemical that they treat the tobacco with to make them really addictive in the factory
Mm.
cigarettes, along with the damn carpet glue to make them fire safe. That shit's nasty.
That's all right. I order from the Thompson's. Yeah, Thompson cigars.
Thompson cigars, know them
I get
well. Yeah.
I get them half price, man. So I got a brand new order in right here, a box unopened here. I order them in that skid because there's like 15 2-packs in here.
Mhm.
So I order like 6 of these at a time because I can get them for half price. So I've got a brand new order of them here that came in a couple of days ago that I hadn't even opened yet.
Yeah, and I like this new tobacco that Moose hooked me up with. Um, yeah, I know they call it pipe tobacco, but man, it's cut just like cigarette tobacco.
It's a little coarser. You'll notice it's a little coarser than your top or your bugler because that's
Just
real finer cut like cigarette tobacco was. But the pipe tobacco is just a little coarser cut is all.
just a little bit.
But they had to do that because of stupid, you know, who in their right mind in the government made it outlawed shipping cigarette tobacco through the mail, which put out, like I said, it put Fred Stoker's out of the cigarette tobacco business. And Fred Stoker's had one of the best natural tobaccos, one of the best flavor with a good nicotine content, but very low tar. It was very flavorful, and it put them out of the cigarette tobacco business because you can't ship cigarette tobacco through the mail, but you can ship pipe tobacco.
Yep, it's dumb. But they had a whole shelf full, and it's like a third of the price.
Yeah,
If
and
Oh
it's
no,
good stuff.
most everybody around here I know, they buy it in the bags too and roll their own. They've got the rollers and all that shit.
yeah,
They just roll their own. I don't know what is it's not actually cigarette tobacco. It's actually pipe tobacco.
they
Yeah,
call it pipe tobacco, but the way that they cut it is it's pretty much like cigarette tobacco.
I got
yeah.
you.
They have to do that to ship it. Backwoods, that's what I was saying. The government
I got
outlawed shipping cigarette tobacco.
That's
Yeah, I know.
Just like
Don't get
your,
me
well,
started.
we could go into them banning bump stocks, or and now going after the fucking pistol braces. I mean, it's like they'll do anything and everything they can to try and make another buck, try and make another criminal out of a law-abiding citizen. It was like, hey, I'll try that, and I'll go out and buy a couple of those. Those are cool, man. Now I got my own little AR pistol, and now they want to try and reclassify them. Come on, man.
Yeah, here's what I buy. It's a 5 pound bag.
yeah.
OHM.
Own, own. Boom.
Hell, I heard they're trying to outlaw the menthols too.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I watched or I listened to, I guess I should say, on the way home from training today. I listened to a Glenn Beck interview he did with a lady that escaped out of North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And she said the things that are going on in the United States, she said these people have no clue what they are asking for and what they are allowing to happen. She said it is eerily similar to what happened to her over in North Korea, or what goes on over in North Korea. And she's saying if the people here halfway understood the things that, you know, these cancel cultures and people and so forth, she said if they halfway knew what they were really getting themselves into, they would stop it immediately.
Well, a lot of us do understand, and we do have senators out there trying to stop it, but at the same time, it's not enough. I mean, if Donald Trump being president wasn't enough to stop the swamp, what makes us think if we have a dozen or two congressmen and senators in there, I mean, we might be able to stop some of their bullshit bills, you know, but like seriously, we need to end the media and we need to end the bureaucracy. If we can do those two things right there, all of a sudden, dude, you would see like red pill moments left and right. Not one or two a day. You would see like, you know, maybe 100 a day. Once people really got down, once the news could quit doing their propaganda crap. Because, folks, if you don't remember, under Obama, there was a well, before Obama, there was a clause that the media had to report true media. Well, Obama changed it to where now they are allowed to go ahead and push propaganda.
Yeah.
That was actually a bill that that Towelhead signed. I'll just call him that because I still believe he's more Muslim than he is anything. It's not American. That's for damn sure. And that probably got stream ended.
I got dinged on Facebook for using the word raghead one time. The guy had a rag on his head.
What the hell's wrong with him, man?
I just call it like I see it, you know.
Yeah, mainstream media. Yeah, media in general, Eddie. I mean, back before they had TVs and stuff, I mean, you know, that all they had was print. People could print whatever the fuck they wanted back then.
Heard in Arkansas they banned semi-auto shotguns that look like AR style, and people have them until next Friday to turn them in. What the hell are you talking about, Rip?
I ain't heard that. Come on, man. I keep up on the 2A news.
I think I better put my boots on. It's getting deep.
Yeah, no doubt it's getting thick in here.
Let's see. Let's do it like this right here.
Yeah.
So they can come and take it, is all I can say. It will not be given. It will, and all I can say, Rip Curl, is they better bring some welding gloves, because that somebody's going to be smoking hot when they try to pick it up.
They better pack a lunch, because it's going to be an all-day job.
Right? Damn, camera, what's wrong with you today? There it goes.
You can't focus on that much beauty.
I know it. That's what it is.
I was talking about the flag behind you.
Oh. Well, you know.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Rip Curl, I mean, it makes sense. It's like, you know, Joe Biden's always the one to be like, oh, all you need is a 12 gauge, you know, and just fire rounds above their head. Everybody will run away. It's like,
well, the
idiot.
The thing about it is that Rip Curl was trying to mess with me, but he really should have messed with Dangerous, because they're the ones who voted for Biden, not Arkansas.
Not Oklahoma either, yeah.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying, you know. We were one of the first states to call for Trump.
Yeah, so were we to call for Biden, which really made all of us curious, because it's like, there's no way there's that many fucking Biden supporters in Arizona. Just no way. Dude, Trump was here today and fucking there was probably still 25,000 people. It's just, I've got a friend that lives in Tempe, and she went out to the out to Phoenix, anyways, and she was like, I would have tried to get in, but I didn't feel like waking up that early because, like, seriously, you got to be out there like when the sun cracks to get first in line, because that's how many people show up to these fucking rallies. People are waiting in line sometimes the night before. I think I don't know if they're allowed to, but still, like, it's almost like a Black Friday thing when Trump comes around.
Oh Lord.
The problem is we need about 250 to 300 more Trump type people in our government, and we ain't gonna find them.
Yeah, Rip Curl, he does.
Rip Curl, what the fuck are you talking
They,
about?
they, Rip Curl, they voted so blue this last election that they're changing their flag colors to blue.
You know what? Just for that, Rip Curl, I'm gonna plague you with a holocaust of flies. Well, guys, we have been on 2 hours. Do you want to keep going, or shall we go ahead and call it an end for this one? Do
I'm
the
picking to go eat. I've got a big old sandwich in here that's why I turned my camera off a minute ago so I could munch on it a little bit. I'm getting hungry again.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I put out a lot of energy today.
Yeah, and we got 2 more hours to go till your next broadcast there, Danger.
Yeah, I might not wait that long. I might give it half an hour.
So somebody else is on, I think. I don't know who's on. I can't
Dude,
keep
there's all
track
kinds
anymore.
of people on.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of people on.
Let's see.
But I don't know. For some reason, when I start the After Dark, I seem to get a lot of views, like insane amount. It's almost insane. Like one time, Patriot, I was watching. I looked at my subscribers, which at that point it was like, I don't know, around 750, and I looked at my watch hours, and I'm like 29,000. I'm like, wow, 29,000 watch hours? What the hell? It's just crazy. And that's the one I promised I would never monetize. Now, this one, yeah, we definitely get views on this. Don't get me wrong, but not near like what the After Dark does. And maybe it's because I stay on more hours. I don't know. And we're way more open about everything. So I'll give it that. But I want to thank everybody really quick for coming out and joining us for this Saturday Night Forum. And dude, some of the best guests or best co-hosts, whatever you want to call them, both of them have been my sidekicks for a long time, and vice versa. But I love you all, and I want to thank you all very much for coming out. And I will see you probably, I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe a half an hour. I don't care. I'm probably going to change my clothes and maybe wash my ass. Other than that, I think I'll be good to go. Moose, you got
I would
anything?
I would like to say, if you're a gun owner out there and you do not belong to the Gun Owners of America, think about joining. It's $25 a year, and if you can throw an extra $5 or $10, we need to build up our membership. They're out there fighting more than the NRA ever did. We need to get the membership up if you can, because they're fighting for your rights, to bring it to the forefront, to get it to the courts, to stop this crap that's going on. So if you can, join Gun Owners of America and join the fight for our freedom. Be safe out there. Keep your powder dry, as I always say, and keep your faith in God strong.
Amen.
I just
Patriot.
want to say, when you prepare your mind properly, everything will fall into place. Just saying.
Amen, brother.